I'm Julie Saunders.
I'm Jan Wilson. Julie and I both have experience as school librarians, and we've worked together as district library leaders.
In each episode, we'll dive into our profession with interviews and meaningful content to inspire you. We're not experts,
But we're pretty close.
The ideas and opinions shared by any host, guest, or listener are their own and do not represent those of any respective school district.
Welcome to Library Exchange. This episode is sponsored by Mackin. For over 40 years, Mackin has provided pre-K through 12th grade libraries and classrooms with access to over 4 million printed and digital fiction and nonfiction titles.
The 26-time multi-award winning digital content management system, Mackin Via, along with divisions Mackin Library, Mackin Classroom, Mackin Maker, Mackin Learning, and the brand new whole school resource management system, Mackin Vision, help to create a truly unique and robust educational resource company that schools and educators have relied on year after year.
For more information, visit mackin.com today.
As we close out our first season, we can't help but be reflective. The purpose of our episode today is to capture ideas that librarians have shared to help add value to our programs while hopefully reducing barriers for you. It is also that time of year when New Year's resolutions are made in our personal lives. Why not think about how you can apply the same concept to your library programs? After this episode, we hope that you take the time to think about areas that you can grow by making professional library resolutions for the new year.
In November, we presented a session titled Trending Now, School Librarians with Cicely Lewis at the Georgia Educational Technology Conference.
So first, let's talk about the difference between the word trendy and trending. Trendy themes are emerging themes like dynamic shelving and AI and passive programming. And trendy topics, they may come and go. But trending issues are ongoing challenges facing library programs over long periods of time. Our focus is the trending issues, those that have historically challenged school librarians.
During our presentation, we highlighted 3 areas that are trending: advocacy, resources, and equity. The librarians who attended gave responses and shared ideas on a Padlet. And the past couple of weeks, we've also recorded with several librarians, and you'll hear those in this episode too. So it's not just going to be me and Julie talking.
Well, we are going to need to talk some,
Oh.
Jan.
Well, I'm just waiting on you. I'm ready.
Okay. Well, advocacy is a perfect place to start.
Mm-hmm.
Effectively communicating our value to stakeholders. Many educators, including admin, really most people, have a limited understanding of librarians' impact. Reflect on what you're communicating about your library.
Right. It's important to think about how you communicate and what you communicate. I wish I had done more of this, Julie, when I were younger.
Me too.
Do you only publicize fun events, or are you mixing in those instructional collaborations, publicizing when you've partnered with a certain grade level or a curriculum area? Or do your staff and students only hear from you when they have overdue books?
Good
So
point.
make sure you find ways to communicate that the library is an active space for learning, exploring, and creating. So during our session, we ask the audience, what do you communicate that builds a perception of value for your library programming? So first, an idea from Anne Marie Holland in the Thomas County School District. She creates a monthly event newsletter and she prints it out, old school, love it, and teachers post it in their classrooms.
Using the monthly newsletter that goes directly into the teacher's workflow instead of sitting in a crowded email inbox. She shifted the communication from always being, come do a fun thing, to here is how the library is supporting learning in our school. Staff may need reminders about your role.
Yeah, 100%. I know there are times where people have told us, Julie, they feel like an event planner, and those things do happen. But make sure you are communicating your value as an instructional partner, because you get to control what's in the newsletter. All right. Next on the Padlet is Jessica's story from Hilltop Elementary School. She recommends inviting the superintendent and board to your library, and I'll just add invite your principal or admin too when you have an engaging event or a lesson plan.
You're really just allowing them the
Mhm.
opportunity to see the library's impact with their own eyes. And it may have been years since they've stepped inside a school library.
Yeah, think about if you were a teacher, you knew which lessons you wanted someone to come in and watch. So do the same thing for your library because when you have them in your space, they're able to observe student learning and your role as an instructional leader in real time, and they can see how students and teachers are engaged.
Brandy Barbie at Lane Elementary School in Bibb County had several comments on our Padlet. Brandy has a challenge. She serves as the planning time for teachers, meaning when teachers drop off their classes, they use that time for planning.
There's a trending topic we've heard before.
Hmm.
Um, it doesn't seem to ever go away.
Since she doesn't have time during the school day to meet, she gets creative by quickly chatting in the hallway or when teachers pick up their students. A tip and trick in this
Tip and trick,
situation,
tip
I
and
know, I like
trick.
that. A tip and trick is to notice what is displayed outside teachers' classrooms, what's hanging up in the hallway that students have created. You can comment on them or send a nice email like, when you do this project next year, I'd love to show you this resource your students can use for ideas.
Right. Okay, so Julie, I spoke with Brandy about her use of Parent Square, which, if you aren't familiar, it's a communication tool that many K through 12 schools use. So let's hear from Brandy as she describes using Parent Square to advocate for her library lessons.
For the lessons, especially like the digital citizenship lessons, we use Parent Protect and they have parent videos. There's also lessons for, I know definitely like K through 5. I know it's middle school. I'm not really sure about high school, but I think it has a high school lessons on there too. It takes different digital citizenship topics and breaks it down into multiple lessons. Some are videos, some are handouts, some are read alouds and stuff like that. I do that with the kids. And then I share out through Parent Square a resource or a link for the parents that goes along with what we're doing that week.
She is highlighting the actual lessons and content she's delivering to students. Let's close the topic of advocacy by hearing from Lori McGovern, who leads school libraries and media services in Newton County. Lori reminds us that branding in libraries, especially creating a logo, is a must.
I think the most important thing to think about when thinking about a brand or a logo is that we're in the school library. Overwhelmingly, we're servant leaders. We're there to create and do, and we drop everything to help a teacher or a student, and we give. We give our lessons, we give our creations, and a lot of times we think, well, everyone knows what we're doing. And in this day and age, it's important that they really actually do know what we're doing. We always want to say, oh, I don't want to brag about it. I want to help. I want to do. It's not bragging to say, no, I deserve credit for what I did. It's like putting your name on your test paper. That's not bragging. That's saying this is mine. And so it's just really putting your name on your program.
So that logo, where do you see it being used most often?
I call it the Waffle House hash brown effect. You scatter, cover, and smother. It's in our email signature. It is on any presentation that we make, any newsletters, any posters or flyers that are created. So anything that we're is front facing, so to speak, public facing. That's powerful because you're getting your program out there. You're giving a name to your program.
So, Julie, Lori has a lot of tips and tricks, as you say. She's going to be a guest in season 2 of the podcast to talk more about this topic. And I'm actually a little hungry right now after her Waffle House reference. Can we take a break?
No. No, we're going to continue, Jan.
Okay,
The
okay.
second trending issue is resources. How librarians navigate personnel, funding, and other barriers in order to provide full library services.
Some of these barriers are experiencing staffing and budget cuts. We also know that additional non library duties get assigned to librarians. You may have a new curriculum mandate or the one to one technology
Mm,
support duties. The
hmm
list could go
Yep,
on.
those are all popular things that we hear about. So we asked, what creative solutions have you implemented to overcome resource barriers? And how do you maintain quality library services when facing these challenges? Padlet responses mentioned writing grants and borrowing free exhibits from local museums. Many librarians commented about their partnership with the public library. School librarians call their local public library and schedule time for staff to come into the school to lead story time, puppet shows, or share resources that they have available.
Julie, I feel like all public library systems must have some type of an outreach position, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the whole
So,
goal.
yeah, thank you for that. So, whether it's partnering with them, with their staff as a resource or equipment as a resource, reach out to your local branch. I know we're fortunate in our county that we've even had some of the librarians present at our in services, bring
Mm.
equipment to schools, different 3D printers, etc. Okay, let me give a shout out to Brenda Brown from our session. It didn't list the school. She posted about how difficult it can be to fund author visits. So she mentioned book breaks, which gives students access to virtual author talks. So book breaks is a K through 12 program that has monthly live and on demand author talks and interviews. I don't think it's too expensive, is it?
It seemed affordable for the number of schools that we purchased it for
Okay.
in our district.
Okay. I know we purchased it for our middle school level,
Hmm
and I think it's been a positive thing. So thanks for that, Brenda Brown.
So, Jan, I have three shout outs.
I
Lindsay,
didn't know we were allowed to do three, but go
we're
ahead.
doing three, starting with Lindsay Keown at Holcomb Bridge Middle School, Elizabeth Shaddix from Bright Star Elementary, and Hannah Schuler from Yargo Elementary. All three have programs
Mhm.
for students who help circulate, create displays, and help with other clerical duties due to limited staff.
So the ones I read on the Padlet also mentioned that they have their students complete an application to be a student helper, and that way the librarian can go to the teacher, as a reference.
Mm.
And other ideas were it helps to have a cool name for those student helpers or a special lanyard or a t-shirt that they wear, establishing it as a club, and that kind of gets more interest from
Mhm.
students. I would have loved to volunteer in my school library when I was younger, especially after I got kicked off of school patrol in 7th grade, but this is not about me.
So I don't think I've heard that story. We'll talk later so we can stay focused for now. We spoke with Jill Ward, an elementary school librarian in Cobb County, Georgia. She employs student helpers too. She knows who her frequent patrons are, so she asked their teachers to allow them to come to the library when they have completed their classwork to help her. But let's listen to her describe the Beanstack reading challenge that she created, a staff versus students competition.
One of the great challenges we had in our library, we use Beanstack in my district. And another librarian in our county, she had a great idea to involve staff in reading challenges. And specifically, she had a staff challenge. And that kind of inspired my parapro and I to do a challenge with our students. And so we decided our students love the Who Would Win series by Jerry Pallotta. So we took that idea of a versus challenge and challenged the students versus the teachers in our school. And we even made the graphics. We had the Who Would Win graphic, and we would have some of the teachers who volunteered to do the challenge looking fierce with the book and going up against the students. And we were able to recruit a lot of teachers. We kind of knew our regular teachers, those teachers that are reading a lot. And this took off. We were able to kind of recruit at least one teacher in each grade level, some counselors, some parapros, all across the board. It really made a huge difference with our reading minutes with our students. Our students were really motivated to try to beat us. We read more minutes in that month that we offered that challenge than we've read in the whole of or at least logged in the whole of the year before. Now, I will say the teachers did win. We did win the challenge. I think fifth grade was very close behind us, but we were still able to reward our top 20 readers and make sure that they felt special and announce some of the morning announcements and all that kind of stuff. And we were able to reward our top class, the class that logged the most number of reading minutes.
The reading challenge created a reason to showcase her collection to staff and students. She used healthy competition to boost the school's reading culture.
This may have helped teachers see her in a different way, possibly, like more than just a service provider. So, Julie, speaking of the Who Would Win series, I think I have an idea.
Okay.
I think the author and illustrator should add a title about staff parking spot assignments at school, because I think this is a familiar battle all teachers can relate to. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, that may be more high school central.
Oh, well, let me share with our elementary and middle school people.
Okay.
There's a thing about signing up where you're going to get to park, and then should the new teachers get to park close to the building, or have the veteran teachers earn that right? Because new teachers already get stuck in classroom trailers and they're forced to sponsor a club, and then the veteran will come in and say, I've been a teacher here for 13 years.
So first come, first serve chaos?
I did work at a school that did that, but then if you parked in someone's spot that they were accustomed to, it was like, what do you call it? It really wasn't assigned parking, but it was, because they would get upset. So anyway,
The
that's just
final. Sorry. So that leads us to the final trend, which is equity. We want to make sure all our students have access to self-selected books.
right. So for this, we talked about the importance of collection development, which includes weeding, the physical layout of your collection, strategies for connecting students with books was something that the audience really got into, the dynamic shelving, and using word-based classification for nonfiction.
So we discussed the word-based classification system because that's an option in our district. What we call it is findability. And we wanted to hear if others at the conference had gone in this direction. So we asked, what shelving innovations have improved access in your library? And what are your thoughts on word-based classification?
Yeah, first, regarding collection development, I hope I pronounce her name correctly. There was a great quote from Tracy Scaglione at Dorset's Shoals Elementary, who said, hoarding is not collection development.
Yep.
The majority of posts were about signage and the importance of using icons and images in forward-facing books. But something unique from Jessica Andrews at Simonton Elementary School, she puts a browsing table near her picture book section with different books on the table that she knows will appeal to her beginning independent readers. So when you walk over to that area, they can actually see the cover.
Great. So, librarians Amanda Fox at Collins Hill High School and Nicole Solanke of McKendree Elementary both transformed nonfiction collections to the findability model that we mentioned. Both say their nonfiction books are now the second most circulated in the library. Graphic novels, of course, are always number one.
I thought you were going to ask me to say number one. Graphic novels.
I told you.
Yeah, but at least they're reading, people. Anyway,
Yes.
along the same line, Kara Spitzner from New Prospect Elementary School. Oh, I love this. She created categories just for her biography section. So she had athletes, entertainers, change makers, and even to get even more interest, she had under construction tape and signs while she was converting it. And the students kept asking about what's happening here. So good idea.
It is a great idea. A lot of librarians are moving to the clear bins to make browsing easier, which gives students more independence in locating books they like. Let's find out about the special touch Melissa Castle from Langston Road Primary adds in the bottom of her shelving bins.
Our characters in a series are pretty much our biggest section for our fiction. And my easy fiction, like picture books, are separate from the chapter books, but both of them, the biggest section is the characters in a series. So the front facing bins have a little label on the front saying character series, but then it has a picture of whatever character we're looking at. If it's Jeannie B. Jones, Mercy Watson, whatever. And then if the bin is empty, in the bottom of the bin, there is a little graphic that says, if you liked Jeannie B. Jones, check out these other characters you might like. And it has pictures of other things you might like. If you like Jeannie B., check out Clementine. And it's all pictures because whatever the picture is in the bottom of the bin, that's going to be the picture they're going to find on the front of the other bin that they might be looking for. So it just hopefully makes it super easy for them to find something else to check out.
That's such a creative solution for when those popular books are checked out,
So we want to say thanks to all of the librarians we've mentioned from the Padlet and those we recorded with, who shared helpful advice on how librarians can remove some of the barriers associated with advocacy, resources, and equity. I can't help but reflect on the connections we've made in our first season with this podcast.
Yeah. Did you connect with me?
Yeah, we connected all the time, multiple times a week.
Okay, sorry I interrupted you.
But how rewarding it has been to connect with talented librarians all over the world who shared ideas that can be replicated in other libraries, which has been our ultimate goal for this podcast from the beginning.
Yes.
In a couple of weeks, people all over the world will be making New Year's resolutions. This is also a great time to create some professional library resolutions. I would challenge everyone to dig deep on the things that you consider your weaknesses. Even with strong library programs, there can always be improvement, either with how we communicate, how we interact, or how we revise our lessons and programming.
Well said, Julie.
Thank you.
I agree. The connections have been the most rewarding part, but the beauty of resolutions is that we don't have to tackle them alone. We have a community that we can get inspired from.
Mm-hmm.
You guys remember, this is Julie's quote, the foundation for every trend we discussed today is your ability as a librarian to communicate and build authentic relationships.
100%.
100%.
Yes.
Have a great holiday season, everyone. Our gift to you is we're coming back for season 2. I made a rhyme, Julie. Our gift to you is we're coming back for season 2 on January 26, 2026. So that's 1/26/26. And we have an amazing, that's 3 words, amazing guest to kick off season 2.
I think that's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Thanks, everyone.
Make sure to visit our website at www.libraryexchangepodcast.com.
You'll find episode notes and links. You can even submit your questions or inspiring stories that may be featured on the podcast.
If you're looking for some swag for your library or book-loving friends, visit libraryexchange.etsy.com.
That's a lot of URLs, so I'm glad you had to say all of that, Julie.
Thanks for joining us. We can't wait to have you back for our next episode of Library Exchange.